melody where the music's always bright. From history to theory, we'll keep your spirits light. Tune in for the stories, the rhythms and the groove. Join us on this journey, there's always more to prove. The melody, where every note's a thrill. The melody, welcome to the Melody Podcast with your favorite host, James Shelton. James Shelton. James Shelton. James Shelton.
Welcome to the Melody Podcast. I'm your host, James Shelton. Famed singer, songwriter, and musical icon Prince was born Prince Rogers Nelson on June 7, 1958, in Minneapolis, Minnesota. His parents were John Nelson, a musician whose stage name was Prince Rogers, and Mattie Shaw, a jazz singer who performed with the Prince Rogers Band. Prince became interested in music at a young age and taught himself how to play the piano, guitar, and drums. His parents broke up when he was about 10 years old, and he and his sister split their time between their parents' homes. He eventually ran away and moved in with the neighbors, the Anderson family. In high school, Prince formed the band Grand Central, later known as Champagne, with Andre Anderson, who later changed his name to Andre Simon and Morris Day. In 1978, Prince was signed to Warner Brothers Records, and in a 2009 interview with Tavis Smiley, Prince revealed that when he was a child, he suffered from epileptic seizures and that he was teased in school. He told Smiley, "Early in my career, I tried to be competent by being as flashy and as noisy as I could." With his band, The Revolution, Prince went on to create the classic album Purple Rain in 1984, which also served as the soundtrack to the film of the same name, grossing almost $70 million at the U.S. box office. The movie garnered an Academy Award for the Best Original Song Score. Its title track reached number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, while the hits When Doves Cry and Let's Go Crazy both reached number 1. While Let's Go Crazy readily joined the marathon of wild, electrifying rock songs, Doves Cry and one-of-a-kind signatures displaying an otherworldly meld of electronic and funk elements without a traditional chorus. The soundtrack offered 2 other hits, I Would Die For You and Take Me With You. Prince simultaneously became a well-known visual icon with his trademark curls, flowing jackets, and ruffled attire with punk embellishments. Darling Nikki was another tune for Purple Rain that incited controversy due to its explicit visuals. After Senator Al Gore's wife, Tipper Gore, bought the album for their daughter and listened to the track, she eventually pushed for albums to support labels that warned parents of graphical lyrics. In 1985, saw the release of Around the World in a Day, which had the top 10 tracks Raspberry Beret, a whimsical mid-tempo tune, and Pop Life. The record continued to feature Prince's penchant for playing a range of instruments and desire to impart messages of self-love, as seen with Paisley Park, a track inspired by the name of his Minneapolis studios. In 1986, Prince released his 8th studio album, Parade, which included his pulsating number 1 pop R&B single, Kiss. Parade served as the soundtrack for the artist's second album, Under the Cherry Moon, which he directed and starred in. In 1978, Prince dropped his debut album, For You, which was followed by Prince in 1979. He played practically all the instruments on the albums, and the sophomore release contained his first top 20 pop hit, the easygoing I Wanna Be Your Lover. The critically acclaimed Dirty Mind dropped in 1980, consisting of material that was graphic in its exploration of sexuality and fantasy. Controversy in 1981 continued playing with the themes of its predecessor. As seen with the dance oriented title track, which reached number 3 on the R&B charts, as well as songs like Sexuality and Do Me Baby. Yet, as Prince continued to develop his career, he would also be known for tracks that had a deep spiritually with a yearning for majesty and wonder. The singer found initial international success with the release of his 1982 album, 1999, which included the top 20 title track, an exquisite synth-funk ode about nuclear doomsday, as well as the top 10 hits Little Red Corvette and Del Royce. Sign of the Times, Batman soundtrack. After the disbanding of the Revolution, Prince was able to consolidate various shelved products into what ultimately became the double album Sign of the Times in 1987. With the title track reaching number 3 on the pop charts and number 1 in R&B, the album was known for its stark commentary on social issues, yet also contained fun jams like You Got the Look, a raucous duet with Scottish singer Sheena Easton that reached number 2 on the pop charts. He had previously penned the lavish charged pop R&B hit Sugar Walls from her 1984 album A Private Heaven. Sign was easily among Prince's most critically acclaimed albums, yet its sales lagged in the US, finding more of an audience in Europe, where the artist launched a successful tour. By the time he released his 11th studio album, the soundtrack to Batman, in 1989, Prince had become one of America's most commercially successful pop artists, continually making waves on the charts. Batman offered up the number 1 romp, Bat Dance, as well as the top 5 R&B hit Party Man. The video for Bat Dance famously featured Prince in a split effect makeup and costuming meant to symbolize both the film's shadowy hero and his crazed nemesis, the Joker. The early 1990s marked the launch of the new power generation. Prince's latest band that featured a blend of contemporary R&B, hip-hop, jazz, and soul, along with the vocals of Rosie Gaines. The group was first called out in the soundtrack to Graffiti Bridge, a 1990 sequel to Purple Rain that didn't fare well at the box office, yet still yielded the top 10 track Thieves in the Temple. With the MPG's artistic contributing, Prince found success with his album Diamonds and Pearls in 1991, which rose to number 3 on the Billboard 200 albums chart. Diamonds included the romantic title ballad The Industrial Strength, Get Off, the playful ping Insatiable, and the saucy number 1 single Cream. Prince was a very dirty man. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. Prince worked with MPG continually to unshameably toy with ideas around sexuality, gender norms, and the body to promote the album. Prince had appeared on a 1991 MTV Video Music Awards to do a live performance of Get Off. Echoing parts of the track's music video, the performance featured an array of dancers and musicians in an onstage ballerina, with the artist famously turning around towards the end of the song to show off his seatless pants. In the fall of 1992, Prince had signed a record $100 million deal with Warner Brothers, which considered the largest recording and music publishing contract in history at the time, and allowed him the freedom to pursue TV, film, book, and merchandising deals separately. As a comparison, fellow industry giants like Michael Jackson and Madonna had 60 million plus contracts that were all inclusive. Prince also worked on specific album tracks for performers like Khan, Madonna, Tevin Campbell, Katie Bush, The Time, and Janelle Monáe. He was behind the girl group Vanity 6, led by singer-actress Vanity, and their number 1 dance hit Nasty Girl, and he sent a song to all women's band The Bangles that they would record to great effect, reaching number 2 with the lush ode to Stressful Workday Manic Monday. In 1992, Prince and the New Power Generation released Love Symbol album. Though embraced by some critics, sales did not fare well as Diamonds. Love only managed to have one top 10 hit, the transcendent single 7, through My Name is Prince and the Colonel Sexy MF. Garnered some attention as well. The following year, Prince released a compilation box set, The Hits / the B-Sides, which had an array of popular songs as well as the new release Pink Cashmere, a tender number sung in falsetto. Prince's Symbol. The lack of success for Love Symbol album created tension between Prince and his record label, Warner Brothers. Over the ensuing years, the singer's career went through a roller coaster of ups and downs, turned off by feeling controlled by his label. Prince changed his name to the unpronounceable Graph O parentheses plus arrow to the right in 1993, a fusion of female and male astrological symbols, which he used until 2000. Y'all know the symbol for Prince. That's what it was trying to say. During that time, he was more frequently referred to as the artist formerly known as Prince, and his new symbol was not embraced by most fans. He also started making appearances with the word slave drawn on the side of his face, meant to convey the great disdain he had for his label. Prince did release the 1995 album The Gold Experience during this time of duress and scored another top 5 song with The Most Beautiful Girl in the World. Once he was released from all contractual obligations to Warner Brothers, Prince released the triple album fittingly entitled Emancipation in 1996, which went on to become certified platinum and featured the soul remake Betcha by Golly Wow. Several other albums affiliated with his NPG label soon followed, including Crystal Ball in 1998 and Rave Unto the Joy Fantastic in 1999. Musicology. After several years of relative obscurity, Prince returned to the limelight in 2004 to perform at the Grammy Awards with Beyonce Knowles. The same year, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That spring, he released Musicology with a tour that became the top concert draw in the United States. The album won 2 Grammys and added another dreamy ballad, Call My Name, to the Prince canon. His next album, 3121, was released in 2006. That year, he wrote and performed Song of the Heart for the animated film Happy Feet and won a Golden Globe for Best Original Song for the composition. In 2007, he performed during the Super Bowl 41 halftime show on a massive stage shaped like his famous symbol, amid pouring rain. The event was watched by 140 million fans. 2010 was the year of accolades for Prince. He not only lauded by Billboard.com as the greatest Super Bowl performer ever, but he was also featured in Times Magazine 100 Most Influential People in the World and earned a Lifetime Achievement Award from BET Awards. He ended the year with an introduction into the Grammy Hall of Fame. Prince also continued to deliver the fruits of his studio efforts with Planet Earth in 2007 and Lotus Flower in 2009, and a joint deal with the Daily Mirror 2010, pronounced the number 20TEN, in 2010. With the advent of the internet as the primary force for distributing music, Prince was against the trend of having songs shared at will on the web. He railed against the idea of providing his songs to online music platforms without proper upfront compensation and profit sharing, with his tracks eventually only being found on the Jay-Z-backed streaming service Tidal. One of the few pop artists to have full ownership of his masters, he was diligent via web sheriff in erasing examples of his music, including videos and live performances from the internet. He was thus behind the Lenz versus Universal Music Group case, which unsuccessfully pushed for the YouTube removal of A Baby Dancing to Let's Go Crazy. Prince continued to take political stands with his performances as well. On May 2nd, 2015, Prince staged a dance rally for peace at Paisley Park to pay tribute to Freddie Gray, a 25-year-old African American who died in police custody after his arrest in Baltimore, and to show support for activists protesting his death with his backup band 3R Die Girl. Prince performed a 41-minute concert including his protest song Baltimore, which was inspired by Gray's death. On April 21st, 2016, Prince was found dead at his Paisley Park compound in Minnesota. The week prior, his plane made an emergency landing, and the singer was hospitalized for what was reportedly a severe case of the flu. Though reports later stated that the musician was actually given a life-saving safe shot for Percocet overdose. The Carver County Sheriff's Department and Midwest Medical Examiner's Office launched an investigation into the cause of death. After the autopsy was performed, his remains were cremated, and his close family and friends gathered for a small private funeral on April 23rd. Almost 2 weeks after the musician's death, a lawyer revealed that Dr. Howard Cornfield, a California-based physician who specializes in treatment for those dependent upon and addicted to pain medication, had been called upon by Prince's team to aid the musician. The performer had undergone hip surgery some years earlier and was believed to have endured recurring discomfort while giving concerts. Cornfield's son had reportedly flown to Prince's compound to initiate the recovery process and was among those who found him dead. While Prince's state of health at the time of his death is unknown, attorney William Mosley said the artist was dealing with a grave medical emergency when Cornfield was called, as reported by the Minneapolis Star-Tribune. On June 2, 2016, the Midwest Medical Examiner's Office released results of the investigation, which determined that Prince died from an accidental overdose of self-administered fentanyl. Tributes to the profound, unique artist poured in from fans across the globe, as evidenced by impromptu memorials and celebrations of his work, with love especially hauling from the city where Prince was born and continued to live. Thousands of mourners sang Purple Rain in downtown Minneapolis on the night of his death. His Minnesota home studio in Paisley Park officially opened its doors as a museum in October of 2016. The following month, his first posthumous song, Moonbeam Levels, was released. Additionally, production began on the documentary about the singer's early years titled Prince, Are You Listening? On April 19, 2018, Carver County concluded its 2-year investigation with the announcement that no criminal charges would be filed in Prince's death. Attorney Mark Metz said that it was unknown who supplied the musician with the fentanyl-laced pills that killed him, and that there was no evidence that any associates knew he was ingesting such a dangerous substance. There is no doubt that the actions of individuals around Prince will be criticized and judged in the days and weeks to come, Metz said, but suspicious and innuendo are not sufficient in bringing criminal charges. Prince was extremely private about his personal life and preferred to spend time at his Paisley Park compound away from the celebrity spotlight. In the 1980s, Prince had a long on and off relationship with singer-songwriter Susanna Melvoin, the twin sister of Wendy Melvoin, a guitarist in Prince's band The Revolution. He was also romantically involved with the drummer extraordinaire Sheila E. The two worked together on her albums The Glamorous Life, featuring the top 10 pop R&B title track, and Romance 1600, showcasing a single, A Love Bizarre. On Valentine's Day 1996, Prince married backup singer and dancer Maite Garcia. The couple had a son who was born on October 16th, 1996, and died a week later from Pifera syndrome, a rare genetic disorder. Prince and Garcia divorced in 1999. In 2001, Prince married his second wife, Manua Testolini, who had been employed by one of his charitable organizations. Their marriage ended in 2006. After their divorce, he had a relationship with one of his musical prostitutes, singer Brio Van Lante. During the same year as his wedding to Testolini, Prince also became a Jehovah's Witness, embracing the faith after years of study. He was raised as a Seventh-day Adventist. His mentor as a witness was bassist Larry Graham, who had played with Sly and the Family Stone, and thus was also a major musical influence. Prince was believed to have taken part in what was referred to as field service for his faith, having once visited a Jewish couple in Indy Prairie, Minnesota, and leaving behind a copy of the Witness publication, The Watchtower. His language and performance sensibilities changed somewhat, with some fans questioning how some of the conservative aspects of his religion jibed with the explicit nature of past songs. Contracting the rock soul personnel, others have pointed out that Prince has historically had songs that were clearly Christian in nature, as seen with The Ladder, The Holy River, The Crossing God, the gospel B-side to the single Purple Rain. In March of 2016, it was announced that the pop superstar was working on a memoir, tentatively titled The Beautiful Ones. According to Billboard magazine, Prince spoke to an audience at a music industrial event about the memoir. "This is my first book. My brother Dan, co-writer Dan Pippenbring, is helping me with it. He's a good critic, and that's what I need. He's not a yes man at all, and he's really helping me get through this. We're starting it from the beginning, from my first memory, and hopefully we can go all the way up to the Super Bowl." Although the artist passed away shortly afterward, his collaborations continued to work on the project. In October of 2019, Penguin Random House published the 279-page The Beautiful Ones, combining Prince's unfinished manuscript with photos, scrapbooks, and lyrics. The following spring, CBS aired Let's Go Crazy, the Grammy salute to Prince on the 4th anniversary of his death, hosted by comedian and actress Maya Rudolph. The special featured an all-star lineup of musicians performing the artist's classical hits. Highlights included John Legend delivering a soulful version of Nothing Compares to You, Chris Martin and Susanna Hoffs teaming up for the delicate rendition of Manic Monday, and Dave Grohl and the Foo Fighters pumping out the hard rock cover of Darling Nikki. Prince's top 5 songs are: number 1, can you guess? I'm sure you can. Purple Rain with 480 million streams. Number 2, Kiss with 430 million streams. Number 3, When Doves Cry, 250 million streams. Number 4, Raspberry Burst with 230 million streams. And number 5, Let's Go Crazy with 120 million streams. Not screams, streams. There was probably a lot of people screaming for Prince, though. So, it was probably a lot of screams in that. Millions of screams. You know what to do. Go check out shopmelody.com and read the full biography. I can't stress this enough because some of these artists have really large biographies, and I can't get through it all in one episode. Not with my voice and the way I talk. I'll lose my voice pretty quickly. So go check out the full biography at shopmelody.com. Make sure you sign up to become a member. It's really starting to take off over there. It's really good. I'm glad. I'm happy. Thank you so much for supporting Melody. Make sure to grab you some fresh new merch. We got new t-shirts in the store. Hit that subscribe button and share with your friends and family. Follow us on social media at The Melody Pod. Thanks for listening. I'll see you tomorrow.